you can see that played out lovely. Fantastic when you get back and see that. But we've taken 2 to 1 as well quite comfortably, so 2 to 1 trade would have been on the cards. We've easily taken profits here at the low, which gives us just over 3. What's up traders, welcome to Failure to Displace. Today I'm going to show you a live trade I took in the New York Silver Bullet session on the S&P 500. Let's jump straight into the breakdown. You saw the result at the beginning of the video, but I'll just give you a bit more of a detailed analysis of what I was looking at as the session started, and then I'll go into the replay for you of the live trade execution. So we'll just skip back prior to the session starting. So as I was coming into the morning, looking to determine my bias, we do the usual, mark out our highs and lows for the day. So you can see we've not threatened Friday's high, should I say. That's all the way up here. We've dropped and we've taken Friday's low out already and closed back inside the range. So we've failed to displace at the low, we are pulling back in the range, and as we are coming into the Silver Bullet session, price is accelerating, reaching for these highs. We do have the daily high here as our buy side liquidity as well, so that's our first stop before we ultimately take the PM session New York high, which is the real target that I will be looking for. So coming into the session, I did have a bullish bias looking to take out these highs. Skip to the session starting. First fair value gap coming into the session was presented here. Not going to take an entry there because we've already swept the daily high. So that kind of put pay to my plan. What I was originally hoping for is that we could build some liquidity here, pull back, potentially look at going into some kind of discount of this range to then get a fair value gap higher. Didn't happen, we just went straight for the high and took it. As soon as that high was taken, I reverted to the 2022 mentorship entry model, which means I was looking for a break of structure on this candle and then a short trade back into the range, targeting the session low and potentially even the daily low, where we've got relative equal lows down here. So we can now jump into the live charts and I'll walk you through the execution live along with the profit taking that we eventually managed to get. Taking the high, close back in the range. This could be a reversal. I'm not going to take a long on this. So we've got a break of structure here. So if we get a break of structure with displacement, I'm going to switch bias short because we've taken the daily high. That's nice. So leaving us a balanced price range here. If this closes, we'll flip that short. Stop loss above that high, entry the open of that with a 52, 5 handle, take profit. So if this closes like this, we'll take that short, not long, short. Stop loss just above the high with a 5 handle, 5.2 handle, take profit. Here's my trade. So we've got a breaker block here, we've got an order block. Let's enter that. So that's what we're risking based on this. Stop loss just above the high, just to grab a quick 5 handles. See if this gets tagged in. As I mentioned earlier, we have taken the daily high and are rejecting. Big fair value gap there, daily low down here. I'm not so sure if we're going to get the daily low or not, because I think that this New York session high is probably a more likely target. We've swept the low, so this is our range basically. We've swept the New York PM session low and pulled back into the side of this range, so we would expect the opposite side of the range to get tagged. You would actually be looking for that to get knocked out. That would also take us into the optimal trade entry. They are relative equal highs here as well. Looking at this, so that is a good target. But we may get a scalp back down to optimal trade entry and this order block if we can get tapped in on a short trade. And we could measure optimal trade entry on this range, so that's tagged us in. Optimal trade entry is just at the low of the breaker block. Let's remove this, so that's tagged us in. It's not hit optimal trade, but it is into a discount. Should be in on MetaTrader. Yep, so we've been tagged in on MetaTrader now. And all we can do is wait to see if the analysis was correct for at least 5 handles. I'll pick the kids up. Just have to leave this to play out. Hopefully we'll come back to a take profit. You can see that played out lovely. Fantastic when you get back and see that. So went through a little bit of drawdown, eventually pulled away, took our 5 handles. We can see that we've taken 2 to 1 as well quite comfortably, so a 2 to 1 trade would have been on the cards. Could have easily taken, what are we doing here? Could have easily taken profits here at the low, which gives us just over 3.2R. You can see that we've retested the New York PM session low again. It's funny how they come back and retry key areas again. It's hit that to the exact pip. So that's the price that it put in on Friday's low and come back. We haven't taken out this sell side below us now. I do still think that this equal highs here is a target, or relative equal highs, is a potential target. But that was a lovely trade. So the analysis coming out of that was a failure to displace below Friday's low, closing back into the range in London. Came back up, we just swept the daily high. So ideally I would have wanted to see this buy side taken, so it was slightly riskier than I wanted to be in. But we did sweep that high, and then we just took a 2022 mentorship entry, which was a break of structure here. Left a balanced price range in the form of this up closed to this down closed candle. We have came back, tested the higher end of the order block, and then eventually faded away to take out the session low. And so required a little bit of patience here, and obviously this drawdown was not a nice situation to be sat in, but ultimately the plan played out nicely for a potential, as it stands at the moment, 3R trade. I hope that was useful, guys. Good price action. It's nice to see. Let's have a look at the live. Yeah, we have got closed out of that. So we did take that live on stream. The account history, we bagged 271 there. Because I was leaving to pick up the kids from school, I just left this at the 1-to-1 to close out in full. If I was managing this, then chances are I would have tried a new take profit strategy, which would have been closing 50% at 1-to-1, leaving 50% as a runner and then closed out the 50% there. So it could have been potentially a much better trade for me if I was here to manage it. But as it stands, that was a set and forget, walk away, because I had other stuff to do, and the 5 handles eventually hit. So profitable trade, good to catch it live on screen, good to see the analysis play out again, good to see that failures to displace often lead to nice reversals. And so I do hope that was useful for you. Please like the video if you enjoyed the content. Leave any questions down below. It's always great to get your feedback. As always, please subscribe if you want to see more of these. We've had some fantastic growth over the past week or so. So it really is kind of motivating me to carry on with these and dig in and try and refine this as best as I can. So thanks guys, I'll see you again soon.